Hey, you can see my washing in the back, but maybe it'll be covered up. We are back, and we open on the girls' post-elimination of Octavia, and all the Dianas are collected around the mirror for Lil to wipe the message off. Thank you, Octavia. See you on the road. The competition is really on now. There's Kyron and Lavoie way out in front with 3 badges each. And some of the queens don't even have one yet. This is not a good place to be at this stage in the competition. 7 weeks in, and you've done well, but you've not won anything yet. You can sort of see the finish line, and that trophy is moving further and further away from you in the distance rather than getting closer. Chara takes her wig off, and let me tell you, the joy I felt in my heart as Lavoie smacked that Maggie wig out of the competition was only rivalled by the joy of seeing the last Tory government relegated to the Junior League in Parliament again. Marmalade and Chara in the mirror bonding over their lack of wins is super cute and fun. Next day in the workroom, it's looking super empty now in there, like there is so much space. Ru is back and this geometric blue suit is lovely. Now it's time to sit and cry. Yes, time to sit and cry. It's week 7. At this point in the competition, everyone is knackered. They're stressed, everyone's a bit delirious. You're so close to the end that these reunions with everyone's family and loved ones is just, it's so cute. And it's immediately apparent where Chara gets her nerve from as her mum gives herself a free meet and greet with Rupauls. It cost me $80 for that, thank you very much. And Marmalade clearly gets her sense of humour from her own mum as she cuts her down on the way in. You said you weren't going to do this to me. Lavoie and her dad are super cute. Yes, Dad. Lil and her mum are adorable, and it really shows what a supportive relationship with a parent can do for a queer kid. You know, like being allowed to be who you are and being supported and loved in it rather than despite of it. You know, that is the most empowering feeling in the whole world. Chara and her mammy, like mammy dropping the water sports without even realising that she's going to be Chara P. Girl. Oh, Kyron and Rich are just super cute, and him being a doctor is absolutely the one. How do I get on the register for that practice? Hey, doctor. Ooh. Relisa and Chani get their little time, and it's really interesting because it's such a challenge when you don't know who you're going to get as to what you can bring for it to work. You know, like I'd made those 2 white stretch dresses and actually already made one for All Together now. And I'd stoned that one. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll make another one of those because it's, you know, run it through the machine. So I made it like 3 or 4 times bigger just in case, you know. But 3 or 4 times bigger, there's only so much that you can plan and there's only so much that you can prep. And then the rest of it is just left up to the drag gods. Everyone seeing the outfits for the first time is always so much fun. Like, you can really tell who is ready to compete straight away. And Lavoie's dad is 100% ready, which is probably where Lavoie gets that from as well. You know, he just is like, this is what's happening. Okay, that's what's doing. Let's make that happen. Great. While some of the others are a little bit less sure about that. Like Lil's mum's reaction to the outfit is really sweet with how shocked she is and that sort of slight fear and self-consciousness. Hopefully that disappears for the challenge and Lil can, you know, like hype her up enough for her to feel amazing. Kyron teaching Richie how to walk is a little bit running before walking. Like sometimes you just have to let folks put the shoes on and then just walk. and then you go back to it and you're like, okay, now you've had a little strut. Let's fix this. Now we've got something a bit new, and I'm loving this. Like having these interview moments with Ru away from the workroom space and away from the others gives them like just a little bit more breathing space to talk openly. I think this is a really good shout from production. Great choice. And we're finding out everyone's new drag names. Chara's mama gets Mama T from the House of Positivity, and it's such a beautiful relationship. Really, really lovely to see, like a mammy and daddy who just love their kids, whatever. In comes Relisa and Chani, and we get to hear about Chani has always sort of looked out for Relisa and been that protective, only very slightly elder sister. And then how proud she is of Relisa. Like, you know, there's definitely some fear from Chani about the drag side of this challenge. But I'm really excited to see how she transforms and whether there's some kind of extra confidence that can grow from her for this. And Julissa is about to be born. Lil and Angela are next. It's so hard in these challenges. The weight that the person being made over feels. Like, I know when we did it and Cheryl didn't win, and it was really hard on her sister. Because I think it's that thing of like, I guess you want your family member to succeed. Of course you do. And then the feeling like you could have hindered them somehow. That's really hard. Couple that with Angela clearly feeling like a little bit self-conscious about her body. And this becomes a really potentially tough challenge. Ru's right though. You get the drag right and you can absolutely fly. And she chooses the name Lola Buzzcock. Similar to Lil. I was always the female character, you know, when you were playing dress up and stuff. Really, we were just practicing ready for growing up or not growing up. The coming out story is so lovely. And I really, really wish that all coming out stories could be like this. Just whatever it is, you are, and it is fine. We cut back to the workroom, and Lavoie's dad is trying on heels. And it's great, apart from the new shoes on the table. Don't do that. It's so gorgeous though, and I think it's fair to say Lavoie's dad isn't a spring chicken, and this may well be the first time he's ever had heels on his feet. So it's not much of a shock that he isn't exactly great in them. But Lavoie is doing that sort of, she's laughing, but it's like with him, and she's being really supportive at the same time. It's you know, it's done, she's really great. Kyron and Richie are chatting to Ru next, and this is the reality of life in stark contrast. I cannot imagine what Richie is going through. You know, the loss of your parent is one of the most difficult moments in anybody's life, and couple that with your partner getting their big moment, and this sort of emotional dissonance must be really difficult to deal with. Richie also said that they all live together, so like both people that you're with each day are not there. That's so much to deal with, and I've got so much respect for Richie in this moment and how he's dealing with being in this situation. What an extraordinary person. Really incredible. And they've chosen an extraordinary name as council tax. Can't do that. But she gets christened Rubella by Kyron instead. All you need is baby mumps and then the family's complete. Now we get Marmalade and Deborah. Deborah is so great. In some ways, it's a sort of similar relationship to me and my mum. Like, we used to go to church, and if there was ever a wedding on the Saturday, we'd mark the dress out of 10. I'd be like, give that one a 5. And I'd help her shop, you know, picking out shoes, jackets, skirts, blouses, all that kind of stuff. And all those little looks and acknowledging what's going on around you without having to sort of verbalise it. Those are the things that make a relationship really special, you know. And I love that they gave her this little step as well onto the chair. I didn't know if you noticed that, but the front step had a chair. So it's just jam and marmalade. And now it's time for the runway. No, last but not least, we get Lavoie and Richard. And we get to the name straight away. It's voila. Richard's talking really got me. It's the sort of relationship we all want. And then he's cracking jokes and you know what? There's a lesson right there in what he's done in how to shape a show. You know, and then up and down and up and down. Amazing. Relisa is having to sew this week, and I'm really worried just in case it doesn't work out for her. Next day in the workroom, and Relisa is totally right. It's super gorgeous, all the love in the room. And I know some people really love the drama and the fighting and all of that stuff, but I am so much more into a big old love-in. Like, give me the joy, give me the girls supporting each other, give me that kind of friendly shade. And all the family, we need those allies. We need those allies, especially right now, the ones who are willing to be vocal and challenge bigotry when they see it. So Chara's mum, thank you. Ticket to the runway. Ru in this asymmetric gold dress and blonde bombshell wig. Yes, it's another gold dress, but is it gorgeous? Yes, it is. And we get more of those legs. Oh. We have Michelle, who's looking pretty in pink with these great shoulders. Alan is back this week in this geometric jacket, which is lovely. And then we get AJ Adudu of Big Brother fame, giving leopard print gorgeousness. First up on the runway, we get Lavoie and voila. These costumes are super smart for Lavoie. They reference what she does and they create a story, this sort of vaudevillian family enterprise. Voila is selling it, and there's a sort of Betty Davis swag to her, you know, this kind of ballsy thing. It's fun. Marmalade and Just Jam. These outfits are giving me Heathers or yeah, and it's like they've dumped the other two from the gang. You know, they've gone, no, you can't sit with us, like Mean Girls. And Just Jam has this sort of Mae West quality to her. It's great. Charity and Mummity. Okay, this relationship is super cute. The outfits aren't quite there. I'm not sure that the colour palette works that well. Like the red and pink is quite clashing, and the accessories, the mirroring of the accessories isn't quite kind of carried through properly. Like, I feel a bit like this about quite a lot of Chara's looks, that they've been really, really close, but those kind of final screw it in details haven't quite been there. They've all been really, really great and the concepts have been good, but just that kind of final thing hasn't quite been there. Rubella and Kyron. Okay, at this point we know that Kyron is going to bring it to the runway each time. And then she also has the talent in all of the challenges to back it up. And this is no exception. It's brilliant. The colours, the details, the storyline, the makeup. This is a massive transformation on Rubella. Like, Rubella never looked so good. And we got a baby to complete the family. They should have called it Mumps, but you know, whatever. It's the sort of Sesame Street Grouch thing. I love it. Relisa and Jaleesa Lisa. This is such a cute band. It's sort of like the Supremes after Diana left. You know, they're like, baby, 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 where did Diana go? The dresses work really well. I'm just not sure that this coat was needed. Jaleesa looks absolutely gorgeous, and the dress, it's perfect. But the coat sort of drowns these gorgeous curves that she's got. So I maybe would have cut that. But it's that balancing thing of, like, how comfortable is she? And that's the really difficult part of this is, you know, the challenge versus the confidence of the person on the runway. Lil and Lola Buzzcock. They're back as this sort of punky vaudevillian showgirls, and I'm really enjoying this totally unfazed delivery between the two of them. Like, they've been doing the same show for 20 years and they're just so over it. You know, they're performing it in a dive bar, nobody's paying any attention. And I really hope that Lil's mum felt as gorgeous as she looked on the runway, because she really did. For the critiques, I've really got to say, Alan just gets the levity and the heart just right here. And the critiques are proper tearjerkers all the way through this. Seeing the support and love for from the families to the queens and the queens to the families, it's like just bawling, absolutely bawling the whole way through. And it's taken me absolutely ages because I've had to stop it and just do my little cry and then start writing again. It's taken me ages to write this. And this week, it's so hard because everyone is gorgeous and the relationships are so beautiful and that family connection is so clear. I feel it's sort of weird, but I feel really proud of all of them. You know, that they've shown the whole of the UK and the world just how important these relationships are. And at a time where the progress that we've made is really in jeopardy, seeing that how empowering and supportive and accepting home life really is, it's a brilliant message for everyone. And I really hope that everybody gets to see this episode. We're all just people, aren't we? Tops and bottoms time. It's Marmalade's moment. The fact she's done it, and she's done it with her mum, I think this makes it so much more special, and I'm really happy for her. And that means that Relisa and Chara are up for elimination. We've really reached the point in the competition that, like, no matter who goes, it's sad. Because we've got to know them, and we like them, and we all know that they've got much more to give, and it's also extra hard because no matter what you say, if you're out, the family member is going to feel some sort of responsibility for it, even though it isn't anything to do with what they've done. So, as the person on stage, you've got to fight extra hard then. My only question for this series is why so many songs are by men this year? Like Rick Astley? We all had to get rickrolled on this episode. Chara is really fighting and Relisa is more just living the song. And I'm really sad because I think Chara did have a lot more to give, but Relisa was the winner of that lip sync. She just embodied the song more and lived it. I really hope that Chara and her mummy know just how well they both did. It was really great. And what a gorgeous episode. Join me next week for more chatting and musing and consideration. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, click all the buttons, write all the things, and I'll see you next week. Love you. I didn't paint my nails this week. I'm going to do it now. Bye.